All right, welcome back to Big Head Small Cap. It's Monday morning and it is raining both on my portfolio and outside. It's just a total massacre today. Let's go actually see how we're doing. We're in the rare situation in which almost everything we own is down. We're losing money on, and we're pretty aggressively allocated. So we don't have a margin call yet, but we're right up against that area where we would get one. So there's not a heck of a lot of dry powder. Um, the Aether short started to work a little bit, so I'm happy about that. Crescendo is still, the second purchase of Crescendo is still working. I got AMCR again at 16, and now that's down. It just keeps going down, but it's a good company. The thing that I have to say about all these names is I'm not upset about holding any of them. None of them are making me nervous. Gravity, I can see maybe selling, and in mode, I can see maybe selling because I haven't lost much money and they're not big movers. They don't seem to move a heck of a lot, but I'm happy holding them. There's no reason not to continue to hold them. Crescendo is probably the one I'm least comfortable holding indefinitely because I would think, it's gotten reasonably expensive. It doesn't make money. And it's just a small company, so that one could easily blow up. Daktronics I could hold forever. ACMR I could hold forever. Aether Test Systems I'm short, so no big deal. We talked about Crescendo. Catalyst Pharmaceutical, which I just bought and I'm now losing money on, or I bought on Friday. I'm really comfortable with it. It just makes good money. It's got lots of earnings growth ahead of it. I could see it running. I could see it keep going down too, but I could also see it running. So I think I'm just going to sit on the sidelines here and hope stuff turns around, maybe take profits on the short or the second trade of Crescendo if it runs back up a little bit again, just to free up uh, get some dry powder or a little bit more dry powder in the event things really fall to crap. But anyway, that's what we're doing today. Hopefully the market will turn around. The whole market is just a disaster. Like if we look, basically every name's down here, but if I go to my bigger list, interesting. Hold on, let's just do the whole list. It's pretty much a bloodbath. There are only a few names. Gigacloud is running a little bit, but there are only a few names that are up at all. I think on my total list, there are 3, and the market in general is all the markets are down. So I think it's just a waiting game. I'll talk to you at the end of the market. Bye. All right, the market closed. I figured I'd do a little recap. We did lose some ground today, but it really wasn't that bad. I'm not overly beaten up or overly sad about it. ACMR lost more ground, but better than it was in the morning. So that was a positive. My short lost a little ground. I was making more money on this, but these two are working together, meaning they're moving together. So I'm not overly surprised that the short lost some ground when ACMR gained some ground throughout the day. So I'm not gonna sweat that too much. Catalyst went down. I feel like I'm never going to learn my lesson there. But again, I still think we will get a positive there over the next few days. So I'm going to hold it. Crescendo did really nicely today. It was way down, but it came roaring back. And now we are making good money. It was as high as 602 during the day, but 592 is where it ended. So positive. Daktronics lost a little ground, but not much. Gravity gained ground finally. Almost. Actually, at one point, I was making money on that trade, so happy about that. I've held it now for 11 days. 4 of those days are weekend days, so I'm not going to fret too much, but it is getting a little longer tooth relative to how I like to play it. So, we'll have to see what happens. If I get a little bit of a bounce again, I might just blow it out and take a little bit of a profit. And in mode was basically did nothing, hardly traded at all today. The big news, however, was Gigacloud. Gigacloud absolutely
took off. I kicked myself for selling it, but whatever, hindsight 2020. Second time I haven't top ticked Gigacloud. That said, it's a volatile name. I wouldn't be surprised if it came back down. But let me show you what Gigacloud did today. Actually, probably easiest to do it here. Gigacloud was up $3 at one point, 12% almost for the day, and it was all the way up. It ended the day at 27.84. Now that to me sets a new sort of range in which I can trade it. I think I probably will buy it back if it gets back to 25 at this point, given that it punched through that sort of 25, 26 range it had been in. Let me tell you kind of why I ultimately ended up selling it at 25. Let me show you. I sold it at 25 because when I did the sort of month chart or even 5-day chart, let's do the 5-day chart, we spent a lot of time at 25. And then as I sort of scrolled back, I mean, I had gotten the 26. That's why I initially picked 26 as my target, but 25 kind of is a pretty damn good number. It was a number it hadn't spent a lot of time. If I scroll way back, I'm keeping it at the 5-day chart instead of hitting a larger chart, because when I hit the larger chart, it starts to compress the data points. You don't get as good a view. But anyway, 25 felt good relative to where resistance had historically been. So I went ahead and took my profit at 25. Having bought it at 22 not only a few days ago, but now that it's punched through here, now that you're at 28 and it did all this in one day, it's clearly chewed through all the resistance. I wouldn't be surprised if it climbed up a little bit further, and certainly if it drops, if there's a profit taking day, I think I will get back in. Because if we go to our spreadsheet where we're comparing relative values, and let's do it. Oh, I got some hidden columns here. Unhide. Let's do this one, smallest to largest. Gigacloud. Where is Gigacloud? Gigacloud's really climbed the ranks here. It's 7.8. But as I said before, I can see 50 is not inconsistent with what you see among these names. When you get way up here, you've got sort of crazy large growth rates, but you've got a crazy large growth rate with Gigacloud. It certainly can compete with these guys in terms of growth rates. So I'm not at all shying away from the 27 price that we've got right now, or 28 price. That said, I'd like to, I'd like to see a pullback before I buy in. It's a near-term high. All right, let's look at active trades again. All right, so now my goal for this month, end of February, is basically 73 grand. That means I'm 20 grand away. Do I have the juice? What do I have to do? I feel like 18 is not unreasonable at all. Excuse me. I'm tying in the wrong place. 18 there, 18 there. That I think is very doable. I don't even think that's aggressive. Aether Systems, if this does 18, I'm going to have to cover this. So I would probably be happy to get out of this at 14, maybe 14.5. I might consider covering it. Catalyst Pharmaceutical, I was hoping for 14.25, something like that. Crescendo, 6.5, 6.5. Daktronics, 8.2, kind of what I had hoped for. Gravity, I don't know, I'm going to leave Gravity out. In mode, I'm going to leave out. Those I all feel very good about. I still feel good about. I still think those are really doable, and that gets me to my 72 by the end of the month. So barring some real meaningful change, I think I'm in trades that can get me where I need to go. Obviously, a lot of it depends on Crescendo at the moment. So Oops, what am I doing? That's not what I want. Go back here. Yeah, so let's see what happens. I'm going to stick to that plan. Monitor Gigacloud, because if it pulls back, I'm going to get back in because we love that name. And in order to get back in, I'll have to clear out. So that could cause me to blow these out because I really don't know what I expect from them. And certainly I could cover my short as a way of getting back into Gigacloud. So, yep, that's it. I'll let you know what happens tomorrow.